The last few, well, since last November, went through a huge destash of my yarn and fiber collection, and I sold a lot of yarn, a little bit of fiber, a lot of yarn. I need to start going through the fiber next. Although there's a place in Minneapolis called Minneapolis Fiber Works, and I made a huge donation to them. So I think I cut my fiber collection in half by just donating to them. And I think I sold about 3/4 of the yarn that I owned, and I still own a lot of yarn. And I spent all day yesterday taking pictures, going through my stash, and listing things on eBay. Let me show you. Would you like to see? Hang on, I'll show you. Here's eBay. It has been a spectacular place to sell yarn. Oh my gosh. I haven't sold anything in a while. So here's, I got 26 things listed yesterday. Project bags, here's some sock blockers, a ton more yarn I got listed. Some bags, purses that I had, a pair of shoes that I bought online a couple years ago and they never fit. Yeah, so I have a lot. I have a bunch of yarn and I will show you. So I started selling at Thanksgiving time last year. It was November 23rd. So let's just go November 1st until now. Hang on, change the. This is everything that I've sold in the last, what, 7, 8 months. Look at all of this yarn. Oh my gosh. So much yarn. Knitting needles, just some colored pencils that I had. I used to have a circular sock knitting machine. So I had these two books. They were awful. They were recommended. They were awful. Actually, I hated I loved the idea of learning how to use a circular sock knitting machine. It is so stressful. I spent hours of my life trying to learn how to use that thing, and I never once got a complete pair of socks out of it. The heel turns were so hard. I would rather just knit the socks myself. I am much, much better at knitting socks myself. But look at all of this yarn. I sold some makeup brushes, tons of yarn for dyeing I sold. I had a bunch of stamps that I sold. Look at all of this. I had 3 of these Lands' End tote bags. Why did I need 3 tote bags? I still don't know. Look at all of this. Some project bags. These are some wire sock blockers. I don't need a six sock blocker set. I had these sock blockers. Here's the other book. I sold electronics. I had extra cameras, a GoPro. I never even opened this GoPro. Well, like I opened it, but I never once even used it. A Stream Deck. I sold the Nintendo Switch. That was hard to sell, but I never used it. It sat for 2 years. I never used it. Cameras, knitting needles, look at everything that I sold. It was incredible how much stuff I sold. So and you should see my Facebook Marketplace. Oh my gosh. Do you want to see it? I'll show you. I had a spectacular couple of weeks on Facebook Marketplace. So I sold this tool chest right here. I got it listed and I sold it within 5 minutes of listing it. I couldn't even believe it. I got it cleaned out in an evening and I was like, I'm tired, I'm cranky, I want to go to bed. And I was like, no, it's clean. Just take some pictures, stick it on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully you'll get rid of it in the next couple of days. Within 5 minutes, it was sold. I had so many people asking for it. So, and he came and got it immediately. He came and got it within the hour. I think he just lived in West St. Paul. This has been sitting and taking up space in my closet for years. I got rid of this. I gave this away. It had a lot of scratches and dings and dents on it. This is a teleprompter that I bought maybe a year and a half ago, 22 years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. I think about it 2 years ago, I bought it. Sold that like within a day. I had these extra microphones. I'd had these for over a decade. Sold those within about 2 days. This Cricut, oh, I want to be crafty so bad, and I am crafty to a certain extent. This I got rid of within 3 or 4 days. This ladder, why did I have a ladder in my apartment? I live in an apartment. Why did I need a 6-foot ladder? This has been sitting in my hallway closet for 6 years. I finally sold that. This dumbbell set I gave away for free. This went instantly. I wish it had clicks on the listing because you could see this. I had hundreds of clicks within minutes on this dumbbell set. And then these are old. I sold these a couple of years ago. This is a blending board, and this was my original spinning wheel. But yeah, I had a heck of a week. I did all of this. Yeah, this was June already. It's like the end of July already. So this was June 11th, June 9th, June 9th, June 9th, June 9th, June 5th, June 5th. Yeah, all of this stuff was sold within in less than a week. It was incredible. So if you're thinking about decluttering and selling stuff between eBay and Facebook Marketplace, I don't know how you cannot I don't know how you could not get rid of your stuff. People will buy anything, but also just take some good pictures, right? Let me see. Do I have pictures? Can I even show the pictures? I think so. Just take some nice pictures, give it a fair price. Look at that. It was so easy. It was so easy. I can't even believe it. So, anyways, my singular goal yesterday was just to take pictures, just to get things listed. I have like 3 bins full of stuff. I still have some more things to list today. I think I have like 7 more things to list today. And then I just need to like do a sweep of my closets again. I feel like I could go through my yarn collection again. There's still more stuff I could get rid of in the yarn collection. And believe me when I tell you, I still have plenty of yarn. I'm nowhere near not having yarn. But I really feel like there's more that I could get rid of. There's more I could sell. And the great thing about decluttering and destashing is that it's not a process that lasts forever. It's a finite process because once you're done selling and decluttering, that's it. It's done. You're over. I had like a minute where I was like, should I try to be an eBay reseller? No, absolutely not. That's not the side hustle that I want to have. What I want is just to reclaim my space, my closets, my bookshelves, my living room. Um, yeah, it's been an incredible experience. My goal, because it's been years and years and years of overconsumption, because I had a salary and I had a bank account that was automatically replenished every 2 weeks, and I was saving. That's the other thing is I rationalized all of that spending, all of that overconsumption. Well, first of all, because I pay cash for everything. I don't have any credit card debt. I pay my credit card balance in full every single month. I just don't use credit. Number two, I don't have a car payment. Number three, I was saving. I was putting money in my savings account. So after the bills were paid, after I went to the grocery store and I had money in my savings account, I just bought whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. And I knew that I was over consuming, but I totally rationalized it because I was basically debt free and I had a savings account. The problem with that is, well, first of all, now that I'm self-employed, I could just cry when I think about the amount of money I could still have in my savings account if I hadn't spent all that money on crap I didn't need. But also the feeling that I had last year, especially in November when I first started, how overwhelmed I felt by my space, how much stuff I had in my space. My living room was basically not usable because I had so much stuff, bins, baskets, and this yarn collection. It was mostly yarn at the time. So much yarn that I knew that if I knit every single day for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be able to knit all of that yarn in my lifetime. It was just way too much. And I finally feel like I have reclaimed my space and like my peace of mind and my emotional energy again because I feel like I live in a real home. And I'll tell you this, it wasn't easy. It was easy initially to go through and pick out the things that I wanted to sell. But there were definitely things where I was like, no, absolutely not. I could never get rid of that. But then once I started selling and I built up this momentum and it just seemed like it was getting easier and easier and easier, I had no problem parting with things that initially I was like, no, absolutely not. I need this. I want this. I will never get rid of it. It is so much easier to get rid of things once you build up that momentum. So if you feel like you need to declutter, get rid of things, sell things, make some money, if you're sitting on inventory like I am, just start slowly. Part with the things that you know you're okay getting rid of, and I promise you it gets easier once you build a little momentum. You get a little cash in your pocket, it gets easier and easier and easier. I don't know, it's been a great experience. My goal is to have everything done and decluttered by Thanksgiving. That will basically be the 1 year mark, which is it's a very reasonable amount of time after years and years of overspending and over consuming to give yourself a year to do the full decluttering process, to take the pictures, to do the listings, to sell on Facebook Marketplace, to, oh my gosh, this past winter, the number of times that I had to drive to the post office in St. Paul in the winter in a snowstorm. I will not do that again this winter. I need this process to be done by Thanksgiving this year because I cannot do that again. It was very stressful last year. The amount of times that I had to drive to the post office in the snow in a snowstorm. I just don't want to do that anymore. But I feel like I've sold enough stuff that we're in a really good place now. And everything moving forward from now until Thanksgiving, I just think it's going to be so much easier because the bulk of it's gone. So, well, thank you for listening to that. It's been a huge thing in my life to do this selling and decluttering. And yeah, my space just feels completely different. So there's that.